The time is now. It's back to the rhymes. It's like, wow, he's back to the rhymes. I'm in the Boot Street dropping dimes. Clark Kent Daily Plant the Metropolis Times. I write these raps while I'm under the gun. I see you back to get you some. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Pure, raw, uncut rap. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because back to the rhymes. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. Man, this might be the earliest I've ever done this. And when you go back to last week, it's as late as ever. So thankfully, it's much earlier. Okay, got my list right here. Schoolhouse album sales is number one, of course. Playing around with the background. There's a rhyme right there. It's another unofficial rhyme of the week. I already dropped another unofficial rhyme of the week that I'll get to that. I thought I had somebody. In mind. Oh, okay. This Saturday coming up, I will see my music promoter, Dale, most likely. There's no reason I won't see him. As long as their plans come together. He's supposed to meet with a couple old coworkers, one of which, Rhea, bought one of these with his help. It was subsidized. And then we got Enoch, who's never bought one. He doesn't even know about it. So I'm going to turn Dale loose on Enoch. Say, hey, man, what's up, Dale? We got to promote this, right? So that's going to be a good opportunity. See if Dale still has what it takes to sell these. He's been my number one rep by far. So that's this Saturday. Okay. Down at the pier or something. Be nice to get down there to improving that. That's one part of Seattle that's getting better. Thankfully, there is a part. Okay, number two. I don't like sunsets much in country, I gotta say. So my daughter is not allowed, or I can't get my wife, her mom, to listen to country at all. She won't do it. Even though she'll listen to my daughter sing it karaoke style. She'll let her version of singing is okay for her, but she don't want to hear the twangy country person. As a result, she wants to hear country all the time riding with me. And it's funny because I've just been way out of the loop. It's been probably a good year for the most recent songs. I'm getting caught up fast, but so that's good. Listening to it, no progress on the song, but she's big time into it. She was telling some of her peers, friends at church, hey, it's my country era, and they're like, no, and it's like, what? So she's trying to find who's down with the country, but not down on the country, let's say. If you're up on the country, you're down with the country. Ooh, how you like that? Might have a song right there. Let's try that again. If you're up on the country, did I say it like that? You're down with the country. You're down with the country if you're up on the country. If you're down on the country, you're not down with the country. Because country is down for America. See, messing around. All right. Now there's some exceptions. I guess the DNC had their thing, and you had some of those country artists, some of the more suffering a little bit more from the mind virus there to join them. But that was probably the exception, not the rule, I would think. All right. So you'll be glorified. Today we had our inaugural, in our opening, our first ever me to go, at least as the leader of Nikkei Manor. We have Will in the house. We have Mihoko. We have Michael doing the music. We have Betty, the vet, So she's been around this ministry for a long time, decades. And of course, as you might expect at an old folks home, including the one fine woman who was 100, couldn't hear. But it was a great opportunity just to do something. So now I'm seeing what musicians we have. So with those two, Who knows? Who knows if I can get some sheet music for this song? Who knows if we can make songs? Who knows? But this young man, Michael, 22, can drums, guitar. We'll see. I would love it, but just him helping with this ministry, it's once a month, and God provided the kind of help I need for cleaning in the form of Yuki, the young man, wanting to work, wanting to help really make the church look good. And he's an up and coming star right there. So good news. That was very good. Now, can we read that better? If I do something. If I do something. Oh my God. Hold on 1 second. There. YouTube channel. Now you can see number 4. But this light actually helps. Okay. First thing I got to say, I had totally forgot about a song I had in mind. And here I am doing another song but I had totally forgot. I remembered it, so that's good. Keep an eye out for it. It's I'm going to sample my own song. I think I talked about it way back. I had totally forgot about that. I'm like, oh yeah, and I'll get to it as far as current events and stuff. But okay, with the YouTube short, I did a little something different. I got this thing right here. If you watch the short, I did an effect with that. And then for some reason with YouTube, with the Instagram, TikTok, it's already facing you. With YouTube shorts, you got to flip it. So I was like, let me try this. So I was kind of messing around. It's kind of cool. I'll probably watch it a few more times just to enjoy the little flavoring. Nothing major. TikTok did good again. The week before, nothing because I had one word. It wasn't a rhyme, but we're going back to the 1,500. Instagram's just solid. 10 people checking it out, so no problem. The short didn't really do much. The video's doing pretty good. I got to give an update on, so the video's been pretty solid. What did we go over an hour plus, hour 20 of viewership per episode, and I'm thankful for that. In addition, we get some spikes based on what I've got going on with sharing Will stuff. Now, I'm done sharing. I did 100. We got to 95 views on that, and that's where we're at with that. Currently, we're on for part 2, Finding Rabbi Yeshua. 32 views, I believe. It could be more, I hope. And I'm giving myself a break up until September 12th, unless there's more views. So that gives me like the equivalent of sharing one a day. And I hope to have a conversation and possibly book a meeting, make a show with an author who wants to share his book. And I said, well, would you like to go on YouTube? And so, yeah. So let's see. That should be this Saturday. I should talk to Jack. I hope you can't hear these sounds. Water pounding from exercising upstairs. Wow. This isn't a soundproof booth by no means. It's raw, it's uncut, but it's real. So that's that. Content-wise, I have another idea, but we'll see. The person I have in mind is very shy. I think I will wrap that into the current events. I mean, she says she's shy, but you get anyone going, I think they're not shy. It's their passion. They're less shy, right? They're passionate about it. They become less shy. I think that's all I have for that. Rules of engagement. I don't have anything to say. Bellevue Ballers. So I did my daily check-in message because that's one of our core steps, is to check in with your coach daily. And I did an unofficial rhyme of the week, and it went a little something like this. Unofficial rhyme of the week, Tracy. I'm feeling the heat to get butts in the seat. And that's for September 4th. That was the rhyme. So that's it. Butts in the seat. We have a saying. to get a button to see is what I said. All right. And we have little, as I talked about systems and all that stuff, if you're not in Fuego, if you're not Edgar Martinez, hitting it everywhere, just spraying the ball all over the yard, you're just on fire. Maybe you're just kind of scuffling. You're just trying to stay in. You're just trying to get your swing back. That's what we're doing, trying to get our swing. It's okay. You just keep working on it. Here's the merch. It's actually cold enough. I have a long sleeve on, so I don't have to wear like a white shirt, which is an unapproved attire for this program. This would have been my shirt, but it's cold enough. Like, I'm happy it's a little colder, right? Okay. Probably gonna hold off on any follow-ups on the merch for a minute, but yeah, we're good. Trump's gonna thump. So what happened this week? RFK Jr. said, now really what caused this, if you didn't follow the timing and the reason. From what I heard, and it makes perfect sense to me. 5% or more gets you money for campaigning. It maybe gets you, I don't know, places and ballots or something. You got to get 5% of the vote, and that's in the general election. And then all of a sudden, you get some of this pool of money, which, what is that about? But anyhow, that was kind of like the target. His poll numbers apparently went from, who knows how accurate they are. And of course, their inside polls usually might suggest he's doing better than the people that hate him's polls, right? But let's say it dropped from 8% with Biden in the race on average down to 3 or 4. So he went below that 5% threshold on the polls. There's no real reason to think he'll recover. So therefore, let me talk to the Democrats. They won't talk to me. It's kind of interesting. He did seemingly talk to them first. I don't know what's up with that. I could see why they said no, because the Democrat Party of today is nothing like the Democrat Party of yesterday, and he does not fit anymore. He's a total throwback, which they're not. They're progressive. They progressed past civil discourse. They've progressed past America First. They've progressed past securing the border. They progressed past all the things they used to stand for, keeping jobs in this country. They're done with that. They progressed past that. It's all about what? Winning, staying in power. He kept talking about the media organs, first of all, shutting them out, but they're just mouthpieces for the Democrats. So really, they're inseparable. And Rush will talk about this all the time. In so many ways, they haven't changed if you look at the history of the Democrat Party, because why did they want to ally themselves with the Ku Klux Klan? You ask yourself the question, these wonderful progressives from 100 years ago, or how long, why did you ally yourself with the Ku Klux Klan and Jim Crow? Answer that question. And did you have a change of heart? Wouldn't you suggest that those same things that you are pushing for them are the same as now? It's about power. It's about end of private property. It's about all those things. And the movie Reagan's coming out, and I saw the preview last night. I saw the movie Forge with my daughter. And it's a good movie. Yeah, it's very good. Good story. But in a quick little thing, and he said is, I can't remember who the counterbalance to it. It says communism, or it's what? Patriotism, I guess. Patriotism, and the communists are coming for Hollywood, and I guess they won. But anyway, I thought that'd be an interesting movie to see, just to learn more about that. Dennis Quaid out there doing what he can. It's going to be impossible to imitate Reagan. My goodness, that voice, no way. But he's doing what he can, and it's better to see it maybe than to hear a little ad on the radio. But anyhow, that's the latest. So, as you know, RFK Jr. is with supporting President Trump, and we'll just go forward from here. But it's very exciting. Got to say, though, early on, Roger Stone threw out the idea of him being a VP pick. Now, I don't know if that was before or after he realized RFK Jr. is not on the same page as a huge percentage, and for sure the evangelical Christians on abortion. He's not. That never came out in any talk. Sage Steele, I give her credit. She asked him the question. No one was asking. They keep talking about this is so important. The Democrat Party keeps talking about this stuff, but in all the interviews like on Fox, it doesn't come up. She asked, he answered, and it wasn't what, if you're an evangelical Christian, that's not a position you would agree with. Because he ended up saying it's a woman's right to do whatever. Okay. What about after they're born? See, you can go however far you want. Well, after they're born, then you can protect them. Okay, but if they're in the woman's body, then no, it's the woman gets to. That's her area. Get out of the body now. No more killing. Okay. So, second, climate change. I haven't heard. I was hoping to look up a few clips on his position on that, but he brings up the point that the EPA's controlled by big business, big industry, so it's a fake agency. The FDA is run by big ag, fake agency. He mentions the CDC runs big pharma, or big pharma runs the CDC. So these things are just a joke. So. And that's what he wants to push for. And so then I would say, all right, what do we talk about the climate change? Talk to me. What do you have in mind? Because, dirty rivers, we don't want that. Nobody wants that. Okay. So that's the latest with that. So it's exciting, though. Super exciting. And it's funny how a couple of days can go by, you're on to the next thing. But I was so hyped when I heard about that. And they talk about maybe he's ahead of one of those agencies up to Attorney General. But the fact is, I think he would be very, again, if you can handle thinking through, because he had his mind changed on numerous issues. Here's a guy who's willing to have his mind changed. He didn't believe the border was as porous as it was, so he went there in person, and it opened his eyes. So what can we do to help you understand some of these other things? Now, when you start talking about spiritual stuff, that might be a lot more time, and maybe we won't get there, but what are we going to say with this climate change stuff and the hustle that is? All right. Complete songs are on YouTube, that kind of thing. Let me mention Alex. I think I mentioned we got Mark, the producer. We're on a group chat. There's a possibility. I don't think it's going to happen. We were talking about maybe doing something this Friday. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, but it's getting close. I mean, exciting. So I hope to meet him on Friday and have a conversation. Alex is all ready to go and do something. I'm not sure what he had in mind. I have him on the phone. My phone is no good. It cut out on us again, but whatever. I'm still going to try to keep it alive a little longer. But anyhow, have a conversation. I'll meet Mark. But Alex is saying September is going to be better for him. That's fine. He really wants to get something. So I don't know. I'm a little unsure what his path forward was outside of Mark, unless it's just recording with our phone or a tape player and doing what. So I wasn't sure what he had in mind there, but that's okay. We'll just keep moving forward. Because like I said, I got back. I'm going to see Noah on Labor Day. That's booked. We're going to do something, whether it's with my daughter's stuff or whatever. Whatever we want to do, we're going to do something. We're going to go eat pizza. That's for sure. That's a Labor Day pizza. It's going to be great. So that's it. So current events, again, let's just walk through a little Seattle situation. If it's not the worst place in Seattle, it's the second worst. Probably the second worst. The worst is probably 3rd and Pike, that area, as far as Zombieland. I hadn't been there much lately, but we're going down to Nikkei Manor, and on the way, I could have taken Yesler from our church up the hill and went down the steep hill, 6th Avenue, down there. I chose to say, no, I'm going to go 12th. And of course, I go through Zombieland, the second most afflicted area of Seattle, which is 12th and Jackson, 12th and King. And it's much worse than it was when I was delivering mail there. I would say 2 springs ago. Yeah, it's much worse. And it comes and goes. It was really, really bad when I got there. They cleaned it up and they're back. Now, let's go through this, though. So that's a problem. That's terrible. Waterfront's getting better. Okay, we like that. We don't have to talk about water this time. My coworker is from Mexico. Grew up on the border of the United States, Rio Grande. She said the closest big city in Texas is San Antonio. Her dad has witnessed people swimming across the Rio Grande. I guess that's not an easy swim. Apparently, you might have to be pretty good at swimming. So it's not just for anybody. But if you wanted it bad enough, you can get it. And you can't probably stop them. You know, I don't know if you put a wall on the side or how would you deal with that. But at least that's a lot better than people just running across a dry land or whatever, or being escorted in, of course. All right. So if you can get across that river, what's your next goal? Find a sanctuary city. Like Seattle. By the way, they're asking me to maybe be a juror. I don't understand how it works. It's so unclear. I made it through the jury process before. It was way clearer. Now it's do this thing online. You might get a call. You might get an email the day of. You're not clear. This is a disaster. And it's a misdemeanor, apparently, if I don't go. Kind of craziness is this? So, you know, it's a joke. 12th and King. But the whole city's a joke because it's a sanctuary city, and I'll never stop saying that. Anybody who wants to argue that, let's have a discussion. Tell me why a sanctuary city represents anything other than lawlessness. If it's a sanctuary city, what other laws are we just going to ignore? It's ridiculous. Get across the river and get to Seattle. Get somewhere where can't touch him. That's the goal. So, and I would like to ask her more about her journey here, why she wanted to be here as compared to their dad's still there, but all good. But they obviously did it the right way. She did. But it's good to have someone with an actual experience like that. All right. So that's what I want to talk about. Let's get back to the rhymes. And I'm relating this to what we're doing with Will and all the good stuff's going on. Okay. Here's what we have so far. Erroneous. This a heavy lift with a heavy heart, no jest, just hoping you all can digest what I'm saying and suspend the rest of your disbelief as I turn over rocks, turn a new leaf. This ain't beef. This ain't me gnashing teeth. Now, in the service today came back to me because here's a lot of what we're talking about. I think this goes to the end of Judges. I hope that's right because we studied it before the summer started. And it's really it's exactly what's happening here. This is something that we got to be mindful of. Okay. In those days, Israel had no king. Everyone did as they saw fit. And that's, again, I probably quoted this before. That's Judges 21:25. Now, if you are disconnected from the Jewish people as a Gentile, the best you can do is what you see, as you see fit, is what's right in your own eyes, right? Yeah, I saw the movie Forge last night. Great movie. And what Will keeps talking about is few believers use commentaries. There's Christian commentaries like a study Bible, and then there's Jewish commentaries, which are the authoritative commentaries. Christian commentaries are limited, of course. Now, I got to ask Will and say, hey, look, let's talk to me more about Paul going to the Gentiles, the onboarding process. If you're a Gentile, what does that look like? Because in church today, we're talking about how the Jews were rejecting Paul, because we went through Romans 11 in particular, heavy. And Will's been talking about that a lot. tons of stuff that we've been talking about, the irrevocable situation that the Jews are the chosen people, and that does never changes. Okay. God, it is about God's immutability. And what we've been talking about in our studies is dispensationalism, which is God changing, apparently. Or is he changed or is he not? It's not clear. Or it's claimed that it was the plan all along that Jesus would come and replace the Mosaic law, which is, I guess, God changing. But the real problem with that is the temple wasn't destroyed until 70 AD. That's a problem. That doesn't end anything. What was happening from the death of Jesus and the resurrection until then? Who wants to have that discussion? You never hear it. It's not talked about. So that's, if you wanted to be a critic, poke holes in an argument, that's what you would say. Hey, if you want to be a Christian critic, why don't you talk about that and ask those hard questions? I actually would like someone who is like an atheist who wants to raise questions to go after stuff like that. Well, how do you explain that? Now, again, we can fix that by, again, this Rabbi Matt's like, whoa, we better get the Secret Service protecting this guy. There's no, I mean, maybe not. They're not the best. It depends on the situation. Maybe they are the best. I'm hearing both, but somebody needs to protect. This guy is like, if we want a messianic Jewish person who understands Torah and understands Yeshua is the Messiah, that's gold, right? We have access to that person. That's gold for us as Gentiles. So we need that. That's what we need. We don't need, like I said, you watch the movie, he's reading through the Bible. He's trying to understand it. My God, how much can you understand? This isn't like reading Shakespeare, even though I can't understand that one either, but that's a man-made, that's not the God-inspired word. God gave his word to the Jewish people directly, right? And indirectly gave it to the Gentiles, but directly to them. How do we get that one? So that's a simple concept. Doesn't end. So anyway, let me get some rhymes in because I'm running out of time. Yeah, I say this ain't gnashing of teeth, and I'm not gonna look that part up, but this is setting the record straight. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but maybe let me try it. That the keepers of the gate are God's chosen people. The nations well, I'm not going to say equal in God's no respecter of person, right? Cannot equal their relationship with the Father. And the obvious rhyme is bother. Probably will, because what else? The relationship. Oh, here's what I want to say, and going back to that. Is that a bother? Obedience requires paying close attention. And we'll catch you next time on the next lesson.